Alright, what's up? After quite a long break, the comic itself taking a bit of a hiatus, we're back with more Kaiji. How exciting is that? The last one ended on a bit of a twist we can't really judge the significance of yet. The general manager Kurosaki has shown up, obstinately to help out with the search for Kaiji. I'm not really sure what insights he'll have, what new plans he'll be able to effect, how much more of Tei they'll be able to weaponize and deploy against Kaiji. I would assume Kurosawa has, or Kurosaki, oh my gosh. Kurosawa and Kurosaki are very, very different people. Kurosaki has pretty much full disposal of Tei's resources in order to go after Kaiji, if that is indeed why he's here. Now, when I was reading this chapter before, I got a little mixed up. My chronological ordering of these series is a little muddled, which I think is forgivable because there's like spin-offs that are still running that take place entirely like before events that happened very early on in Kaiji. So I forgot that Tonegawa, the previous general manager, has, at the time of this point in Kaiji, completely lost that title after the humiliation with Ikard. Kurosaki taking his place, a character that shows up in Tonegawa as Tonegawa's rival. I don't really know too much about him, though. I only kind of remember those appearances in Tonegawa, where he's more just Kurosawa's foil than someone fully developed himself. So let's see, how does he get along with Endo? Endo, of course, very, very afraid of him. A big role reversal for him. Usually he's the top dog. Let's find out. This chapter is called... I don't remember. Why is GM Kurosaki over here? It's impossible. Maybe I have to mistake someone else for him. Please be someone else. Oh, what a silly scene. Oh, it's so hopeless. Obviously, it's actually Kurosaki. Something wrong, sir. Throws on his coat, runs downstairs. It looks like he's trying to head off Kurosaki. He doesn't want Kurosaki to have the opportunity to come up here and see the office, which isn't like in disarray, I would say, but is just coated with the stench of failure. Like, this one is called Distress, and I'm really thinking it's going to be poor Endo's Distress. What a surprise! You didn't have to come out all this way. Yes, you are indeed obviously surprised. Could have done. Oh, we couldn't get through. Oh boy. Oh, you didn't think that through. Oh man, I didn't think of that either. That's so obvious in retrospect. It's not just people calling the tip line that would call a Tei office like this. What about other Tei people? What about your Tei superiors? Don't you think they would also make a call to that phone? The phone that's currently disconnected? The phone that Endo so righteously and indignantly unplugged because he was so tired of it ringing with false information? Having trouble with the phone recently. Okay, but this isn't going to stand up either. If you admit that your phone is having trouble, then the whole plan is pointless. Like, I'm sure Kurosaki is sort of up to speed with the Kaiji capture operation. Probably knows about the tip line and stuff. Probably all those flyers had to be printed through some other Tei subsidiary. You know, it's a much larger organizational issue. So, isn't that also a problem? You're really at a loss as well. So be it. Just get in for now. We're going out. Oh, that's not what I expected. I thought Kurosaki would try to shape up Kaiji Ketchin HQ. They're going somewhere else. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Why did Kurosaki go out of his way? I don't know either. I would have guessed, you know, he's here to figure out what's going so wrong with this capturing Kaiji thing. Probably gonna yell at Endo quite a bit. Maybe initiate some new plan. You know what? This is what I think would be most likely just kind of out of typical Fukumoto storytelling convention, is that Kurosaki would be hearing Endo out about this confusion around how are Kaiji and his friends getting around, and the trap, the whatever crisis, the Chrysler crisis. No, there's no way it's a Chrysler. um, and then Kurosaki would be like, I can remember when I was a kid, I'd always be in these campers, these RVs. And Endo would finally have the light bulb moment of, oh, they must have rented a camper. And that would lead to a whole other, perhaps more fruitful line of investigation than what they're doing now, which is so pointless. Huh. But instead, Kurosaki taking Endo on a ride. Obvious why, if you think about it. It's because he's lost his patience. 3 weeks have passed, but the man for Kaiji has made absolutely zero progress. It's only natural to assume that he lost his patience. From what I've heard, General Manager Kurosaki was the one who chose me to lead the investigation. I heard he proposed the idea. In other words, I wound up making Kurosaki GM lose face. Okay. So what does he think is going to happen? He's going to be taken out and killed? He's going to be driven to one of those labor camps and he has to toil underground and play dice to escape? What could it be? It's like a scolding or reprimanding? They could have done those back at the office. Could have done those anywhere. The fact that he did try to call them on the phone, though, does suggest something. Because, like, if it was just a scolding that had to be done in person, it's not like you need to call up and be like, hey, I'm coming over to scold you. I don't know. More than just that, I might get fired. I'm getting replaced. Something like that would still be okay. I can live with that. Weirdo is getting tortured. Yes. Yes. Your chickens are coming home to roost. All those things that you inflicted on debtors over your years of being the fiercest dog at Tei, all those things could be turned against you. These are some pretty disturbing shots here. Endo being tortured. And this is no fooling around type of torture either. You know, Fukumoto, usually his torture has kind of a whimsical side to it. Usually it's part of a game of some sort. Or has some kind of cruel irony having to do with dogeza. But the dogeza platform you're doing it on is scalding hot. Sure. This is just straight up getting whipped. What is this? Like, what is the joke here? Where is the irony? What is this? What is karmic about just being in a chair and getting electrocuted? I don't know. It's quite horrific. And the way that Fukumoto has drawn the black suit's expressions as they carry out this pretty old school cut and dry torture. Ooh, cut and dry. That sounds like a torture too. They look troubled. They genuinely look troubled that they have to do this. No way. There's nothing in it for them in doing that. It's not like that would help them find those guys any easier. True. But once you start dealing with the Tei upper management, once you start getting decisions that may have been made by the chairman Hyodo himself, it's not so quick to just be like, oh, well, that's irrational. They wouldn't want to do that. Therefore, they're not going to do that. No. Sometimes Hyodo, the irrational, is his very favorite. It's useless. No, it's more than useless. It's negative. The previous head of the Manhunt was tortured because he didn't get any results, and nobody else would step up to do it. See, this is all quite logical again, but you can tell he's a couple layers of management removed from Emperor Hyodo. Otherwise, I think he would he would still be very afraid of this stuff all the same. And here again, we see some pretty route standard torture, just dunking his head in. Again, the black suits in these torture scenarios, quite interesting to me. This one is sitting down with his hands on his knees, just taking it all in. A man drowning in front of him. That means torture is illogical at its core. It's counterproductive. Okay, this is good. This is Kind of horrific, though, if you think that he could actually be tortured or could be killed. This idea of just sitting in the car, weighing out your options, knowing that you're approaching whatever it is that's your ultimate fate. It reminds me of Dostoevsky, of course. There's a scene in The Idiot that has just always stuck with me, where one of the main protagonists, who's quite kind of cynical, and Dostoevsky characters always have these very cynical intellectuals that are trying to teach the harsh realities of the world to the more naive and innocent and good main characters. In this case, the titular Prince Mishkin. So this guy is telling Prince Mishkin about an execution he saw, and how the whole way to he's describing what he imagines the psychology to be of the prisoner taken in to be executed, what he was thinking in the carriage, what he was thinking as he saw the blocks pass, counting and knowing how many more blocks it would be until the execution platform. This rationalization, this feeling of something different could happen, you know, somehow I still have a few more blocks, something could change, then slowly like accepting this. Ooh, it's so stirring. I think it'll stay with me forever. Yeah, this scene kind of has similar vibes. That he knows the whole time he's thinking about this, whatever it is he's heading towards, he's truly heading towards it. But what is he heading towards? Because I don't think it's torture. I mean, it would be pretty dang cruel to have Endo kind of rationally rule out torture and then surprise, it is actually torture. But can we interpolate then that we're going to the other extreme and it's actually like a reward, some sort of party? Oh my gosh, more torture! Can't take any of this, and this one is horrible! Oh my god! I didn't know about that one. People sometimes go straight to savagery as an outlet for their pent-up frustration. And here he thinks back to Tonigawa doing the sizzling dogeza. Yes. That did happen before this. It took me a while to remember, but yes. This is the order of events. And now he's thinking more in the line of what Chairman Kyoto might be thinking. Yes, see? That's it. He knows now. Chairman Kyoto is a perfect example. Tonigawa-san was cold and ruthless, but he was rational, not the type to needlessly punish people. But what about Kurosaki? Can he really be so trustworthy of Kurosaki? Which type is he? And moreover, is he just acting on Kyoto's orders? He can't be sure. Don't really know anything about his personality or his preferences. I mean, neither do I. All I remember is those episodes where he's vying for the chairman's love with Tonigawa. All I know is one thing about him. His strength as a con man. Before anyone knew it, he buttered up President Kyoto and became second in command. Yes, and that's what we saw in those episodes, is that kind of buttering up. The one with the racehorses, I think, is best, where they all buy racehorses. And they're trying to make sure that the chairman wins. And then the chairman just keeps changing who owns what horse. Oh, it's so fun. Amazing ability to win over and manipulate people. From what I've heard, he saw Chairman Kyoto from afar, ran over to him, and grabbed him from behind. The force from that made Chairman Kyoto stumble over and fall to the ground. He had the vigor in him to get the chairman in that position. What the heck? How was he not thrown off the roof of a building for doing that? How did he know that would work? That's the sort of thing that usually you just get erased. Erased from the annals of history. Annals? Annals. Just a step short of something a hoodlum would do. This radiant display of innocence took hold of Chairman Kyoto's heart. Actually made him care for Kurosaki, or so they say. Jeez. What a weird character. So different than Tonigawa. So different from most of the black suits. The only black suits that it reminds me of, that we learned about in Tonigawa, are the ones that weren't very successful. Over-enthusiastic, naive. But I guess it was more that those were failing to appeal to Tonigawa, but appealing to Kyoto, I don't know. That crap isn't innocence at all. It's Made himself look innocent, holding onto him like a little puppy. Look at that little puppy. Look at Fukumoto drawing a puppy. What a realistic looking dog. I don't know, you don't really see very many animals in Fukumoto. In fact, I'm having a hard time recalling any other animals in Fukumoto. There was the puppies at the start of the new Kurosawa, but I recall them looking a little more cartoonish than this. Am I wrong? I don't know. The inconsistency of realism in this series is always very interesting to me. Most things are really, really realistic. The humans are kind of caricatures, but in another sense, they kind of have realistic proportions and positions. Sometimes, but then other times not really at all. I don't know. It's just buttering you up. If you think about it, that's no more than an all or nothing strategy, right? It was badly or hell even normally. Yes. This is what I anticipated. This is what anyone would anticipate. The cane starts beating. So in that sense, this man has some serious guts. Ooh. Yes, that is a way to think about it. He couldn't be 100% sure that that strategy would work, even if he analyzed the angle of the chairman's eyebrows. If you remember that gag from Tonegawa. Even if he had every reason to suspect it, the potential negative, the downside to having the bad reaction from doing that is literally just death, probably. Like, he's really taking his life into his hands when he tries a strategy like that. Yeah, I guess you could say he's got some guts. Guts in the way of a gambler, you know? That, in the end, he had a nothing ventured, nothing gained sort of attitude with his own career, with his own life, perhaps. Looks like Endo, for a while there, Endo seemed like he was insulting him. That this guy really has no capacity in which he's rightfully the second in command. It's just because he buttered up the chairman so much. But now Endo realizes, yeah, he's got some guts. This is kind of a haunting depiction of him. Just a shot right on with this black background. It looks like he's got a lot on his mind. You know what this reminds me of, this shot? Something from Sangatsu no Lion. Something that Umeda sensei would draw. Just looking at the depths of him. Looking at how deeply he must be thinking right now. But about what? About what? Where the hell are they going? Is this guy going to tell me now? Am I getting scolded, replaced, punished? What is it? It hurts. Ow, ow, ow. My stomach, my stomach, my stomach. Okay. Long, long torture session for Endo, but we learned quite a lot about this Kurosaki character. I wonder where it'll go here. I literally... no idea. Because we've built up all of this, I kind of want to think it'll be the big reversal. Somehow he's being praised. But like, why? Why would he be being praised? Is this some other kind of crazy management tactic where in order to save face, you just act like whatever result you got was somehow the result you wanted all along? We didn't catch Kaiji, but the fierceness of our campaign to do so has proven fruitful as a warning to all other debtors. No one will ever think about running off on a debt again, knowing that we'll go so far to find them. Something like that? I don't know. But if it does go down that line, then Kaiji and the rest are just free? The investigation is over? I don't know. Thanks as always to Fukumoto Crazy. We got a double release here. A blessing from them, to be sure. So let's dive into the next one. See you then.